Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be my first update for my fourth Project 10 pan, and today is the 17th and I filmed my intro video on the 1st, so it's been a little bit over 2 weeks and I'm not quite sure how often I'm going to be able to update you guys. Usually I do 2 weeks, but since my schedule is so different right now, it might be more like 3 weeks, so we're just going to have to see how it goes. I'm just going to go with the flow and film these updates whenever I have a chance and it makes sense. So let's get started. So my first item is this Laura Mercier Smooth Finish Flawless Fluid, and I can't see through this container, so I've just been estimating. And when we started, I guessed that I was right about here where it says Flawless Fluid, and now I think I'm right down here where it says Fluid Po. So I've used this quite a bit. I didn't use it every day for the past few weeks. What I've decided to kind of do with my new work schedule is every week kind of pick a look and just wear that every day that week, at least for the work week. And so last week I had orientation and I didn't use this every day. I know a few days I used my Bourjois Healthy Mix Serum, but I used this every day this week for sure, and definitely a few days last week. So that's about how much I used in, maybe 14 out of 17 days or 13 out of 17 days. So yeah, next up I have my Be a Bombshell Smooth Criminal Powder. And this has been kind of hard to mark, but I tap it down and then I mark it on the sides, and so I did that, and I had moved from this line to this line, so I used up that much in the past few weeks, and I'm not quite sure how much longer this will last. I would guess maybe a month, so we'll have to see when I finally use this up, but that's my guess, is about a month more of this powder. So this is the Bare Minerals 5-in-1 Cream Eyeshadow in Divine Wine, and it's just a deluxe sample size, and it's kind of hard to measure this because it's just really thick and it sticks to all the sides. But I did use this a few times last week during orientation, but this past week I haven't used it at all because I'm panning another cream eyeshadow in my other project, and like I said, I'm switching up my look from week to week, so this is going to be what I focus on next week. So there's not a lot of visible progress on this, but I did use it quite a bit last week. And then this is my Bare Minerals bronzer in the shade Warmth, and this one is kind of hard to see the progress on, but I think I did see a little bit of difference when I tapped it down, so you can see the bottom line there. So not a lot, but this is a thicker part of the container, so I think it'll start going faster and faster as it gets more and more narrow. So this is my Bare Minerals blush in the shade Hint, and I couldn't really tell a difference, so I didn't make a new marking on here when I tapped it down. I did wear this quite a few times last week, but as I mentioned, I'm kind of switching off looks from week to week, and this is the one I'm going to be wearing it next week. So the blush that I was focusing on this week was also in my Project 10 pan, and that is my Tarte blush in the shade Magic. And my goal for this is only to hit pan, so it's kind of hard to tell how far I am because I don't know quite how deep the pan is. And I would say that it's pretty evenly worn down. There isn't really a dip in it because, my brush kind of covers the whole surface area because it is a smaller pan. But you can definitely see that I've worn off some of the embossing. I'm not sure if you'll be able to tell on my camera, but like down here where it said Tarte, you can't really see that anymore. And then you can definitely tell it's worn down in the middle. So I'm definitely making progress on this. I wore it every day this week and a few days last week as well. So I'm hoping that switching back and forth between these two blushes will get them gone in the next couple months. So I have two black eyeliners in my Project 10 pan. The first one is by Noir, and this is how long it is right now. And this is the one I'm focusing on first, but I did mention this in another video, but I lost my sharpener. So I couldn't sharpen it for a while, so I moved on to the other one because it was a roll-up. So I was using this, but then it just got too dull, and I finally got my new sharpener, I think yesterday. So as you can see, I did go down a little bit, but not too much because, like I said, I couldn't use it, and I did lose it, I think, for a few days as well. So just hasn't been going well with this one, but hopefully I'll have some more progress on this one in my next update. Then I have the Marc Jacobs Highliner Gel Pencil in Blacker, and this one is a roll-up one. It takes forever to roll it all the way up, so I'm not going to do that, but I do have it marked on this paper. So you can see right here I made a little more progress than the Noir one right here. And so during my first week of my internship where I was in orientation, it was more casual dress, and I did wear a gel eyeliner every day. We started a little later and I had more time to get ready in the morning. But this week I was working for the first time and I just didn't feel comfortable, one, wearing like really dramatic eyeliner, and I think wearing a little bit of a wing would be totally fine, but I'm not quite confident in my abilities yet when I don't have a lot of time to get ready. And you know, when I mess up my eyeliner and I'm trying to do a little wing, it just gets bigger and bigger, and I just kind of didn't want to deal with that before going to work and end up with a crazy wing. So I decided not to use that this week, and I went to these ones that I'm panning. So I didn't get a lot of use out of them last week, and like I said, one of them was missing for a while and then I couldn't sharpen it. So I think that in the future, since I am going to be at work and probably straying away from my gel liner, at least during the work week, that I will make more progress on these by the next update. Then finally, I have my Makeup Forever lipstick in the shade N9, and I've really been focusing on this one this week. I've been carrying it in my purse, and this is the only lipstick I've really been wearing to work. I don't think I wore it quite as much last week, but for the past 7 days, I've definitely been focusing on this. So this is how much I have left. You can definitely see that the shape is a little bit different than it was before. And that one is marked right here. So there's only a little bit of change, but because it is at an angle, you can see I haven't really been wearing it down like this. I've been going more like this. So I think there is a little bit more progress than it probably looks like, because I have been wearing this every single day and I'm reapplying it at least once. I'm really busy at work, I'm running around, I don't have my bag with me, so I'm not reapplying it constantly, but I have tried to reapply it at least once after lunch every day. So this is the lipstick I was focusing on this week, and then next week I'm going to switch it up to a lip product that's in my other project. So like I said, I'm kind of going back and forth between all my projects, and that is how I'm going to make progress on them. So I have one more week at the placement that I am at now, and then the 2 weeks after that I'm actually going to be working on a farm. So I'm not going to be doing my makeup really to go work on the farm. So that is going to slow down my progress a little bit, but you know, I might be wearing makeup in the evenings instead of during the day, so we'll just have to see how that goes. But I will see you in maybe 2-3 weeks, maybe even 4 weeks if I really don't make any progress during my weeks at the farm. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you again soon. Bye!